You see this effect? Now, when you have cameras, as you do on your phones, you get basically, yeah, a few of the same effects. Now, if you use a black and white camera, that's going to just use the color and the negative feature, you end up with these features like this is posterize. Sometimes they say solarize on some of the old ones. Some of the old cameras would say solarize. But I've been using this app called, I think it's called Mask. But it brings up this. It has, these are the colors. Hold on, and there's a reason why I'm saying this. I've only adjusted it to the one I'm on. Black and white, negative, halftone, like the old TVs, black sketch, white hatch, white sketch. Oh, black and white sketch. Okay. Posterize, crosshatch, emboss, triangle. Oh, I want to be a triangle. Oh, they do have posterize is what I was on. What was that? I thought I was already there. And then tune. I don't think so. We're going with this. The other camera has all the colors, and then you can spin different things. You've seen it. So I use those two for a specific reason. When this guy came over yesterday, this guy, he would get a lot of shit from people because across where he lived, there was the field where there was a lot of deers, and my dad says that they had those deer set up there that are like the fake deers, so the game warden can catch the people deer hunting that aren't supposed to be deer hunting in that land. Well, it got around that this guy was telling everybody there was mechanical bulls or something. And, I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't see any of that. I know he did. It was unfortunate. When somebody's also inebriated or exposed to the shit that'll fuck you up, that'll cause you to see shit, to some degree, what they refer to is the point to be looking at. Now, this guy would see drones. Our friend Tim that supposedly hung himself, which I don't believe. I don't believe he didn't have help doing it. Somebody else just recently died in this town, and they said that he did the same thing, and I don't believe. Just don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it at this time. So, where am I going? Hold on. Sorry. He was saying that he would see these little helicopters. Now, Tim told him that they had some spray that they spray on there that's electromagnetic. They run a pulse through it, and it bends the light so that it's not like they're stealth, but it makes them stealth so they can fly and you can't notice them. And I do believe they have something like that, but that's not really the point. I told him, what were you seeing? These small-sized helicopters. And I told him, I said, were you using an infrared camera? And he's like, yeah. And he explained all the different infrared cameras. And I'm like, no, look. I was like, in my own, I have one infrared camera. I would use it with the tablet. I had the app on there. I'd put the camera down. You can get your own orbs to appear, and then you'll start to see them pixelate over things in the reality and change and build things. Now, I think, and I do believe I'm right, that you're able to manipulate that with your mind. Have like a chi ball, Except he didn't have a chi ball. He had a fucking little drone helicopter. I said, see, that's the bordering land where you're not taking control of the proper realm, and they've moved in on you. Whoever is doing the test and running all the weird experiments that they do out here in fucking Jade Helm unconventional warfare land, because they have it out here with Camp Swift and all the other bullshit. You can look it up if you want, but yes, it was here. But it never left. It never left. That's the thing. It never left. It changed its name and it went underground, but it didn't leave.
And they're doing some interesting shit, I'm sure. I'm sure. But who knows?
And I told him, I'm like, I put the camera in there and I watched myself make my own stuff within my own field area. And he's like, I saw looking out the camera, it was looking outside. And I would see this red light come down and it started scanning back and forth, right on the line. Right on the fucking line, he says. And then the squares and shit start to come out. He described the same damn thing that I described to him just a second ago. I said, see? You have to take authority over that in your fucking training mind. You can't be looking and seeing bugs and scorpions attacking you, or you'll be attacked. Stupid. It's stupid. And I didn't tell him that like that. I wasn't being an asshole. But I'm just saying to myself that way that's what's going on. And I think he got it. I think he needed it because he had a bad reputation. Because he's a singer-songwriter, country music kind of more guy. And we had this time, we went out in my dad's room because I was explaining to him. I said, my dad wasn't here. I said, my dad has a lot of body pains, but I know from shamanic and from studying this Taoist shit, sorry, apologize. That's just the way I talk. That you can have your body trauma can be pulled out using your remembering of an experience, because you have repressed memories that you forget. You can recall the memory. You can have the memory erased. So you have different features of that. I said, do you remember we went out to Smithville? It was me, it was him, and it was Daryl. This guy Daryl. Daryl was an interesting character. He had gotten in a motorcycle accident and his right and left brain didn't communicate anymore. He took a lot of weird speed pills and shit. But I worked with him kind of like on the premise of, your mind can communicate. You can overcome this. I'm like, oh, you can have, this can maybe give you some new abilities. And he ran with it, and he ended up doing a lot better from before that, I guess, because I don't know, he didn't have any physical damage left. Whatever incident he had with the motorcycle was far in the past before the time I had met him. But there you go. So we were going to go to Smithville because somebody was playing, their band was playing at the bar. And I was going to go. I play music, but I was more interested in frolicking in the background. So I did. I went and frolicked in the background. Now, during that night, there was a girl that was singing, and she had this blonde girl with her that had a real pretty girl. Brown dress. She had like the boots with the fur and shit. And this girl came up to me, the singer, the dark-haired one, and was like, me and her, she's like, me and my girlfriend are gonna fuck, we're gonna F you. And I was like, then you are, we're gonna take you to our place and F you. And I was like, all right, let's go. We didn't leave then. Now my friend who I came with, he was invited to go along too. He wasn't disinvited. But due to his injury, thinking process, maybe whatever it was, he was getting real butthurt and wanted to go take them to his house. But they were, look, they weren't going to do that. You understand what I'm saying? They weren't going to do that. And then I told him, I was like, were you there that night when this happened? Now, he was. He was playing. So we're recalling a memory. Now, he didn't go. When we left, we ended up going to some place that the girls led. But my friend came with me, but he got butthurt and he went and he left. And he went to this guy's place, who lived close, but not close enough for him not to wreck his fucking car. He came back and it was all crunched. His hair looked like as if, you know how they make Einstein look with his hair all crazy? That's how this guy's hair looked. And his car was crunched. It was one of those weird cubes. You know, it was like Scion cube or whatever the hell that is. That's what it was. And that's what he did to it. And I didn't get effed by those two girls. I made out with the blonde-haired girl. The dark-haired girl and somebody's husband was doing it outside of their trailer. The somebody's wife, they were both in the military. I remember hearing them say the wife was drunk and passed out and wanted to go to her room and pass out, and her husband stayed up frolicking and smashing the girl that told me she was taking me. And I had to stay in and keep the drunk girl that I was with from being swallowing her tongue or whatever the hell. Just make sure she stayed alive, because she was like, she got fucked up. They were fucked up. But I had a good time. I had a good time that night. Now I'm not saying, and he recalled it. He's like, well, I was there that night. I do remember that night. He came over to my place, so we had all the pieces of the puzzle. So it's like, when you recall an event from the past, if you're I gotta go.